Dr. Murray is present with his counsel, Mr. Chernoff, Mr. Flanagan, Mr. Gorgian, Mr. Pena. The people by counsel, Mr. Walgren and Ms. Brazil. Dr. Shafer once again is on the witness stand. All 12 jurors and the 5 alternates are present. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are going to resume with the direct examination of Dr. Shafer. Dr. Shafer, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Do you acknowledge you are still under oath and you are still sworn to tell the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And please remember the admonitions as well. This will be a resumption of direct examination by the people through Mr. Walgren. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning, Mr. Walgren.
Dr. Shafer, we ended yesterday with you summarizing your findings regarding the standard of care and your opinions regarding the treatment of Michael Jackson by Dr. Murray, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I want to begin this morning by talking about propofol. Do you recall speaking to me back in March 2011 when I inquired if you would be willing to provide your expert opinion in this case?
Yes, I do.
And at that time, were you provided, or shortly thereafter, provided a large number of materials from this case involving medical records, interview statement, and the like?
Yes.
And at that time, did I also provide you a copy of a report dated March 8, 2011, written by your friend and colleague, Dr. Paul White?
Yes, you did.
And did you review that report of Dr. White dated March 8, 2011?
Yes, I did.
And in that report, did Dr. White suggest that Michael Jackson may have orally consumed propofol causing his death?
Yes, he did.
And what was your reaction to that?
I was disappointed because it's not possible.
And why is it not possible?
Because just on first principles alone, oral propofol has no biological activity.
And what do you mean by first principles?
Propofol is so rapidly metabolized by the liver that very little propofol gets past the liver. Everything that enters the stomach or the intestine goes first to the liver. That's how the blood flow, that's the plumbing. So when a drug is put into the stomach, it's absorbed into the blood, and it first goes to the liver. The liver is so avidly, the liver has such powerful mechanisms for metabolizing propofol that only a very small percent can get past the liver. This is a principle that is taught to first-year medical students, and it's called the first pass effect. And it means when anything you eat, it first passes the liver, and the first pass effect is what the liver does that first time it sees it coming from the stomach. And in the case of propofol, you would expect nearly all of the drug to be removed by this first pass effect.
Thank you, Doctor. I'm going to be walking through a PowerPoint presentation with Dr. Shafer. Do we need to switch anything? Okay.
Would you like to begin?
Let me see how it shows up, Your Honor,
All right.
please. consult with the IT person, the deputy, Your Honor.
So Walgren is conferring with Deputy Jones.
While that's rebooting, Your Honor, I do have a hard copy of the slides that I'll be going through. I'd ask that this multi-page document entitled Propofol Not Orally Bioavailable be marked People's, is it 216, Your Honor?
It is. And how many pages, please? Thank you. It's marked. Mr. Chernoff, you have that?
I do, Judge.
Thank you.
Dr. Shafer, while the PowerPoint prepares itself, I'll proceed with the ELMO. Showing you People's 216. Was this are these PowerPoint slides that you prepared to present your testimony?
Yes, they are.
It's entitled Propofol Not Orally Bioavailable?
Yes.
What does that mean to say propofol is not orally bioavailable?
Bioavailable refers to whether or not the drug is available to the body after it's given, in this case, orally. If you inject something intravenously, by definition, it's all in your bloodstream. But if you eat something, it may or may not get into the bloodstream. And the amount that gets into the bloodstream is the amount that is called bioavailable.
And when you say it's not bioavailable, that goes back to how if it's orally ingested, it would go into the stomach.
Correct.
It would be processed through the liver.
Correct.
And essentially, the drug would be cleaned out by the body before it entered the bloodstream in any significant manner. Is that accurate?
Correct.
Looking to page 1, it's actually page 2. Page 1 is the title. Page 2 of People's 216. Can you see that from where you're seated?
Yes, I can.
How about the jurors? Can you see it?
And can you just kind of generally walk us through this slowly and show what's depicted here?
Yes. So, quite obviously, this is the digestive tract here. And this right here shows the mouth. This is the esophagus. The esophagus is the tube that connects the mouth to the stomach. The stomach is this piece here. And that is where the drug is first processed, of course. From there, it goes into the small intestines. From the small intestines, it would go into the large intestine, if there's anything still there, and eventually out through the rectum. This is the liver, basically this huge, it's actually maroon in color. And all of the blood from all of these organs first flow through to the liver.
So just the path it would take then. So it goes down this esophagus.
So the path it would take is the propofol would come down the esophagus into the stomach, and then absorption would start almost immediately because the nature of the propofol molecule is that it can pass quite quickly through biological membranes. That's just the chemistry of it allows it to pass through biological membranes. By that I mean like the tissue of the stomach. And so it would start passing through the biological membranes. Actually, it starts passing from the moment it enters the mouth here, but in quantities that are trivial. But here, where it stops, it passes through into the bloodstream. But all of that blood, all of this blood here, will take it through the liver. And only after that blood passes through the liver does that blood then return to something called the vena cava, which is the large blood vessel that takes the blood back to the heart.
Thank you, Doctor. We'll stick with this, Dr. Shafer. Going to the next page of People's 216. It's working against me. This next page, Dr. Shafer, this is the digestive tract?
That is correct.
Okay, can you explain what we're looking at in this slide and kind of walk us through what it depicts?
The point of this slide is just to show that the veins that come from the digestive tract all go to the liver, so that you have a mental image of what that is. So the esophagus is right back here, coming behind the liver, and here it goes into the stomach. And if you take a look at this blue piece here, that's the vein that leaves the stomach, but it comes up here to something called the portal vein. And that then takes the blood to the liver. If we take a look here at the intestines, depicted down here, again, that goes into this vein here, which comes up and joins the vein and takes it into the liver. If we take a look at the colon showing here, what you can see is those veins all come back into this vein and go into the liver. So this is the stomach. The spleen is not involved in this, so we're not going to pay attention to that. And this right here would be the pancreas. This right here is the small intestine. This large coil here is the large intestine. The liver, and when we talk about lorazepam, we'll also spend time talking about the gallbladder, which is located right here. But the main point, the only point for this discussion of propofol is that all of the veins leaving the stomach, the small intestine, and the large intestine, they all come together at this vein right here called the portal vein, and they go first to the liver where the propofol is subjected to metabolism.
And that's what you alluded